And Emerson, what up, baby? All right, so these guys made some calls here, and you can see Boogie took advantage of that, 412%, right? Anthony's in here too. We got a YGG short, simple call, short on HTN. Now I wanna kind of cover what's happening here because we had Anthony come in. He made some beautiful calls here, right? He has a YGG and an HNT call, right? RSIs are all topped. Everything's ready to go. But I want to make something clear here because I think this is where sometimes the new people get confused versus the people that are, been trading my system for a while and can take advantage of these type of calls. But as a new person, right? And as a new person, you have to make sure that you are setting your profits correctly, right? So I want to take a look at two of the calls that hit, right? And one of them here is HTN, right? Helium. And Anthony called it out, and it's a very nice call because what we have here is we have the 4 hour getting to the top. It hasn't crossed yet. The 2 hour did break down and cross right here. And this is normally where we would get into what's called a B trade, right? And that's what these guys took advantage of. They took advantage of the very first move of the 2 hour, and that is going to be the B trade, right? So 2 hour comes down, goes up. The very first move, there's a B trade, right? Very simple, very easy. Here's our 2 hour topped, coming down right here. The 1 hour has to be with it right here. You can see the 1 hour is also with it right here on this candle. We'll make another box for the 1 hour. And we'll make that yellow. And what I want to stress here, guys, is the importance of understanding why we set our profits at 50%, our stop loss at 30. It's because these trades, these aren't the A trade. This is a B trade, right? And the one thing I want to stress is that I don't like to take a short on these type of trades. Now, Anthony and obviously Boogie are more experienced than the newbies. So I wanted to express this to the new people that this right here is a short that it's called a pullback, right? It's a pullback. It's because there's a long push and then there's a 2 hour pullback, right? Now, the difference is we have to have things that are like things that we can look at every single time, and when we see them, that's how we make our decisions, right? And one of the things I want to look at here, and I'm going to pull it up on another chart here, right? And I think I put it on the where was it? The Y. What was the other trade you called out? The YGG. Let me pull up the YGG. And the one thing that I have here is there we go. I was looking at this, but there's a thing here. I'm going to copy this here. All right, copy. All right, let me take this over to the hint. So now on helium, this is one of the rule of thumbs that I like to really trade by, and I'm going to paste it here. And this is just a rule here that helps me stay where I'm always winning 100% of my trades. 15-minute red moon and volume below 4.5 lines. 1 hour volume below 8 line, right? So right here, we know that there's an 8 line right here, and there's a 4.5 line right here, right? 4.5 line, right? There's the 4.5 line right there. I'm going to make these lines yellow so that we can see them. And then we have what's called the 8 line, right? And the reason why I have those there is because I like to, have something that I can rely on every single time, so that way I know that I'm making the same trade over and over, so that I have consistency. And I think a lot of times new guys get in, and sometimes we forget how important volume is, right? Now this particular move here is that you do have a 1 hour red moon that pops up here that lets you know that volume is going to make a stiff move down. So if you're doing a pullback and everything's going in the right direction, you have to have yourself kind of like these things lined up. So 1 hour red moon, right, could give you the alert that you need, right? And you can put it in here and be like, put this here and goes 1 hour red moon overrides both. Okay? And that way, these are 3 things that we have. So I don't take a short unless this is happening with this to happen. Then I have a 1 hour red moon overrides both, right? See the 1 hour red moon, right? So this way I know that if I'm trading in this zone here, right? Or actually the 1 hour red moon, I'm not going to override both. So I'm going to put here for the 1 hour red moon, overrides 1 hour 8 line, okay? So this way I understand that on my settings that I always want a 15-minute red moon and a 4.5 volume. Yeah, I always want a 1 hour volume below the 8 line, or I need a 1 hour red moon to override the 1 hour 8 line, which is here, right? So this way you have something that you can see consistently before you make a short, okay? Here, these guys got a 1 hour red moon right here, which allowed them to look for their entry, which would be on that next move, right? Now, everything else stays the same. We have a 4 hour at the top, obviously on our RSI. We have a 2 hour coming down crossing on our RSI. We have our 1 hour headed down, right, on our RSI. We have our 30 minutes coming down on our RSI. We have our 15-minute coming down on our RSI. And how do we, what do we like to trade on? A 15-minute red moon and the volume below the 15-minute 8 line, right? And this is where I think using the 1 hour red moon gives you an advantage here, because it's kind of like a push to the top, right? The 1 hour red moon, as you can see here, we have a red moon and we have volume below the 8 line here, but this is where we get the 1 hour red moon, right? So and we'll put 1 hour red moon overrides both. And we'll make that a little bit bigger. And we'll make that red. Nah. Okay. So now, this is something that you can put on your... This will help with you guys. Coin name. We're looking at Hint, HNT. HNT right now, guys. We're looking at Helium, HNT. So this right here, you can put on your sticky notes. Put it on your sticky note. Stick it on your computer. And that way, that is a rule of thumb to help you make decisions on everything that you're doing. Right? That way, you have something that you can trade over and over. Yeah. Right? Yeah, thank you, Steve. Thanks for helping out, baby. So that's the simplicity of this, right? So now let's go back and look at this trade, because I want to make sure that in the academy the students have something they can always rely on, right? Right? You can always rely on that. So 1 hour red moon. More importantly, we have a 15-minute volume, below the line there, right? That's what we want. 15-minute red moon, 30-minute 1 hour red moon comes here. This means we're looking for an entry, right? And that entry we're going to put across here. We're going to take the bottom of that candle, because we're going to say you have a bad entry. And now we're going to see like how to set profits, right? So the bottom of that wick right there, right? Obviously we already know what the profits are. So this entry right here, right, would have gave you a 3.19, right? So see that 3.9 right there? See that percentages? So that means right here that this trade right here, if you would have entered properly, this trade is worth 400%. You guys see that? Hit the ones in the chats if you see that, right? You see that? See that right there? We already went down. Ruffkin, we already went down. We already made this trade, right? So you see that? Okay, now we already know that's what happened because if I go to the Discord, this is the trade that just got called out, and then my guys made the trade, right? So you can see here, Boogie made the trade, and you can see right here that that's the trade Boogie just made, right? Look, hint HTN 412%, entry price 218, right? You see that entry price 218. So we already know that this is actually what happened because we have the results. We're actually looking at it right in our face. So what do you enter at 218? So Boogie got in a little bit higher. Let me take a look at that again. Boogie was on top of his shit. Let me see. So Boogie had an entry price of 218. So what I'm saying is Boogie actually jumped the trade a little bit because he's a seasoned veteran. But if you're a student, right? So Boogie got in at 218. Boogie got, oh my God, Boogie 218. Wow. Boogie made a, oh my God, 218 Boogie? Jesus. So Boogie got, you guys are, sometimes these guys get insane. Okay, Boogie got in at 218 right here. See Boogie? This is Boogie's entry right here. You see that? This is where Boogie entered, right? That's a professional entry right there. And what is that entry, right? That entry is basically Boogie saw a 15-minute red moon, a candle, right? Boogie sees a 15-minute red moon, and then he decides to jump the trade, and then as soon as he gets a red candle, he gets in right here. Who doesn't trade, bro? Asset printer. Who doesn't trade, bro? So Boogie gets in at 218, right? He gets up here. Now, if you're a student, right? If you're a student, you're waiting for volume to get below the line right here, right? So you wait for the 1 hour, right? You're waiting for the 1 hour. Now I'll make that a little bit thicker. Here's your 1 hour red moon right here. And volume gets below the 4.5. So you as a student, you're not going to get in at 218, right? You're not even going to get in at 218. You're going to get in a little bit later. Right? You're going to get in later. So I'm going to put you down here, and I'm going to put your entry down here. Asset printer. What do you mean? Guy doesn't even trade. What are you saying, bro? You saying I don't trade, bro? Man, if you want to put some money up, bro, I'll trade against you, bro. Any day. Any day of the week, son. Don't get roasted. I go through lives every day and someone is guruing themselves into finance. Bro, you're nobody. Believe me. You want to trade live against me? Put some money up. Put some money up, bro. And I don't mean a little money, bro. I mean like money. Alright? Let's see how much God helps you. Now, let's go. Let's go. Put some money up. Let's see if God helps you, bro. Don't mess with the righteous, son. Don't mess with the righteous, bro. Alright, so anyways, guys. As you can see, right, this is a Boogie entry. Right? So this is a guy who knows a really good entry. You guys, right here, you're going to enter a lot less. You're going to enter down here, right? 209, right? So even if you get in at that right entry, waiting for everything to happen, remember, you have to have triggers, guys. I already showed my profit and loss, bro. All right, so basically, what I'm saying here, guys, is if you're following the system, right, and you're using the same thing, right, you have to have what's called, bullets, right? You need bullet points. You need things that are always happening. So put this down for your shorts. If you're in the academy, you need a 15-minute red moon. You need the volume below 4.5. You need a 1 hour volume below the 8 line to do a short. The only thing that overrides this is the 1 hour red moon. Okay? If the 1 hour red moon comes in, then you're good to go on a short. And now remember, the goal is very simple. You're setting your profits already ahead of time. Your profits is simple to put in. You have a stop loss of 30%. You have a profit of 50%, period. Obviously, we saw the trade do 400%. It's not that big of a deal, but that just means you would have made 50%. Now, why do I always say 50%? Because I want to make sure that you understand that your goal isn't to try to hit a grand slam every time. You know, a lot of my guys hit really big numbers all the time, but it just comes down to setting yourself up to where you're constantly winning, right? Because remember, it's about learning how to make 50% trades every single time. If you can make 50% trades every single time, then that means if you have a $2,000 trading bag and you make 50% on $2,000, how much do you make? $1,000. If you do 2 trades a week, that's $100 grand a year. If you do 4 trades, it's $200,000 a year. Very simple. That's it. Now, the reason why I made this video is for the new guys who are chasing these trades, and sometimes the problem is that the trades are lining up, but they don't have everything lined up, and it's a little bit higher there. This little part right here is going to help you determine when a short is a short. So write this down: 15-minute red moon and volume below 4.5. Okay, 1 hour volume below the 8 line. Or you need a 1 hour red moon to override both, period. And that is how you know when you should do a short. And once again, once you find a short, we still go through the same thing, which is an entry, right? What's an entry? Anytime you enter a trade, you go to the 3 minute. What do you need to have on the 3 minute? You need to have a 3 minute red moon, right? So right here, you can see that we have a trade entry right here, right? See, here's a trade entry, right? What do we have? 3 minute red moon, 3 minute red trend. So when you go to enter, which would have been right here, right? This would be your entry. You have a 3 minute red moon and a 3 minute red trend. You got that? All right, this for my man Rich Mo, right? So now when you enter that properly, what do you got? Right? You enter here. Right, there you go. What's your move? 400% profits on that one move, right? Bada boom, bada bing. There you go. You're only taking 50. Another winning trade, right? That is basically how to do a short and how to do the pullback, guys. Because you don't want to do any type of shorts when there's a high volume, right? Because some of these trades have really high volume, right? So for instance, a lot of times you don't want to trade high volume because that means it's still pumping, right? But this right here will help you make the decision on what trades you should make, guys. So that's helium. Now I want to go back and I want to take a look at I'm going to take a look here at YGG. I'm going to go through the same concept here, right? I want to kind of like break that down. So this way, guys who are in the academy, when you're new, you want to follow the rules and keep it simple, right? So let's break this down. And let's get to where we say we have a 2 hour coming down, right? So where's the 2 hour, right? Let's go here, and we already kind of wrote this in here, and this is what we have. Okay, here's your 2 hour starts to go down, right? There you go. There's your 2 hour breakdown. Very simple, right? Guys, if you want to join the academy, you have to send his email right to here. The email is vccryptonation@gmail. 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 Send that email, vccryptonation@gmail. If you're in the United States, guys, make sure that you send a cell phone. Tell me, send a cell phone. Tell me your TikTok. All right, now let's break this trade down because I want to use the same information that we just had so that the new guys in the academy understand how to make the right trade every time, right? So once again, what do we need? A 15-minute red moon, volume below 4.5, 1 hour volume below the 8, or a 1 hour red moon overrides both. Okay, so Here's our 2 hour starting to break down right there. Now we look at our 4 hour, our 4 hours at the top, our 2 hours breaking down, our 1 hour starts to break down, right? And now you have a 1 hour red moon. See that? Yeah, this is what I wanted to show you. See, this is what I'm talking about when you have high volume. Perfect, perfect. See, this is where you have to have things that give you the understanding that when you have so much high volume on these higher time frames, there's always a pump, right? You have to, this is where you guys get liquidated. So now we see a 1 hour red moon. This is where we're making the decision, right? So the 1 hour red moon pops up in here, right? There's your 1 hour red moon. Now, let's go take a look at this trade to see how it worked out. Here's a 1 hour red moon. Now remember, 15-minute, right? Red moon, volume, right? What's our volume? Volume below the 4 line. Where is that at? Right here, you can see that the volume gets below the 4 line right here. So this trade, if we were waiting on this trade properly before that, we would have actually waited until that candle happened, right? And that would be our trade. Now, what we're doing is we're actually looking at the 1 hour, right? And we can see here that the 1 hour volume is not below the 8, but we do catch a 1 hour moon on this very first yellow. Now I'm going to make that yellow blue so that we know the difference, right? I'm going to make that blue, right? So there's a blue line. That represents the 1 hour red moon, okay? So now let's dip into that and see what we got. So at that current time, right, what do we need? We need the RSIs to be going in our direction, right? So let's take a look here. Here's your 30-minute RSI coming down. It pushes up, right? See it pushing up right here? So it pushes up right here, starts to come down right here. Starts to come down, right? Red moon on the 30-minute, red moon on the 1 hour. Perfect. 15-minute RSI. 15-minute RSI pushing up. You can see right there, guys. You can see the 15-minute RSI right here. See this is the 15-minute time frame. This is the 15-minute RSI. Pushes up, starts to come down, right? So this all looks good. So this 1 hour moon is going to override the volume for the 15-minute. It's going to give us a picture of an early entry, right? So let's say that we enter now on a 3-minute red moon, red trend. Let's go take a look. So where do we have? We have a 3-minute red moon right here. See the 3-minute red moon? You guys see that right there? 3-minute red moon. And now we need a 3-minute red trend, which doesn't happen until right here. Now, this is where earlier I was talking to Jimmy, and Jimmy said you entered early. I entered because I took the 3-minute red moon as a sign, since there's a 1-minute red moon, that the next move would be a red trend. So personally, on this entry, as long as I have a 3-minute red moon, right? Here's a 3-minute red moon. The 3-minute red moon is actually right here. So if I have a 3-minute red moon, when the 1 hour red moon hits, I'm going to take that entry. Okay? Now let's just say that you wait for the red trend. So I'm going to wait for the red trend because I want to make sure that it is a consistency, right? And when you learn these little tips here, you can get better entries by taking the red moon before the trend to give you a better entry. So I'm going to say that you waited for the red trend, and that's going to put you right here. Okay, there's your entry. Let's make that 2, and let's make that yellow. That's your entry point right there. Okay, so now this is where you needed to make your money. So even if you waited for the red trend, you put in a long position, right? This trade right here, right? Let's do it even better. Let's say that when this red trend hits, right, the wick comes down. Let me zoom in on this. Because I want to show you, the reason why I'm showing you guys the zooming in is because I want to show you where if you get into a trade, right, and it's a trade that happens where you get in at a certain level, right? I want you to show you that it basically, even if you got in at a very bad level. So here's the 1 hour moon, right? Here's the 3-minute moon right here. 3-minute moon right here. This is where I would enter. This is the 1 hour red moon, right? So personally, this happened before this, so you wouldn't enter on this red moon because the 1 hour red moon didn't happen yet. Okay? Let me say that again. You wouldn't enter on this red moon because the 1 hour red moon didn't happen yet. You guys understand what I'm saying? Do you understand? So theoretically, the 1 hour red moon, hit the ones in the chats if you understand what I'm saying. The 1 hour red moon happened on this candle. The 3 red moon happened over here. Right? So theoretically, this already happened. So when this moon hit right here, and I came to see what my entry is on my 3 minute, I would already see there's a red moon. So I would be entering here. Now if you wait for the red trend, which is this right here, this red trend right here, that means that you would be getting in on the next candle, right? You'd be getting in here. Now what I'm going to do here, guys, is I'm going to make this, is basically, you understand when a wick comes down. So what I want to do here, guys, is I want to put it to where, worst case scenario, you buy in, right, at the bottom of this wick. So I'm not going to put you right here where you should get in. I'm going to put you here so that you have a terrible entry, right? A good trader would have got in somewhere up here, right? I'm going to put you here like you got the worst entry ever, right? Which is almost impossible. You should get in at least about here. I'm going to put you here, okay? Because I want to show you that if you're following everything, right, and you're getting into these entries, I want to show you, like, you know, how you can do and do well on these things, right? So red trend pops up. You're in, not on this candle, not on the beginning of this candle, but at the bottom of this candle, somewhere in here, right? Now, food for thought as we rotate over here. Now, this is where learning entries is important. I think Doc asked about this earlier, like, oh, how do I get my entries in on my 3 minute, right? This is where entries on here are going to be very, very key, right? So 3 minute red moon, 3 minute red trend. This is your 3 minute red trend candle somewhere in here, right? This is your 3 minute red trend. Now, personally, okay, and this is where we talk about RSIs, right? To eliminate all risk, ready? To eliminate your risk, the 3 minute RSI, which is down here. Okay, I'm going to open this up. This is another thing that you can put down for yourself to help your entries. If your entry point is happening right here, this is your entry point right here. This is the entry point right there, right? If your entry point is happening right when the 3 minute RSI is at the bottom, you see this? 3 minute, see that up there? 3 minute RSI. You see how it's at the bottom? Hit ones in the chat, guys. Hit ones in the chat if you see what I'm saying. When the 3 minute is at the bottom, do you guys see that? Okay. You need to wait. All right? You need to wait for the 3 minute RSI to come back up and break back down. It can break down right here. It can break down right here, right? So it doesn't matter. So it can break down right here, right? It can break down here. It can break down here. It can break down here, wherever it breaks down, okay? Right? You need to wait for it to break down. What I mean by break down is like literally cross over and go down. Where does it cross over and go down? You see right there? It crosses over and goes down right there. You see that? Hit the ones in the chat if you see that. You see what I'm saying? Do you see that? This is because it always bounces up, right? So we just want to make sure that we don't get liquidated or spiked here. We want to trade with the 3 minute on the entry. We want to trade with the 3 minute. I'm going to wait for the 3 minute to get to the top and come down. Somebody asked, what is the RSI? The RSI is the Relative Strength Index. It's a indicator that is on your trading view. You type in RSI And when you do that, you will see stochastic RSI, and you mark it as your favorite, and then you add it to your chart. And that is this indicator right here on TradingView, right? So now you don't want to enter a trade when your 3-minute RSI is at the bottom. You can enter if it was here, right? So if the trade was here, when we got a red trend right here, this red trend, I would enter because I have all this room. You see that? I have all this room. But if it's literally below what I call the 10 line, right? This perforated line right there, there's a line right here that you have. This is a 20 line. And what I mean by that is if you go all the way to the right, you see here? You see that dotted line right there? I'm going to put a plus sign on that dotted line right there, right? That's the 20 line, right? See that? I'm going to make that line, right? Now, if my 3-minute is below the 20 line, right? Below that, right? I don't want to make the entry. As you can see right here, on our entry, which happens to be right here, see how it's below the 20 line? You see that? I need to wait for it to go up, and when I wait for it to go up, I'm waiting for it to break down. Doesn't matter where it breaks down. I'm waiting for it to somewhere make a move down, right? Doesn't matter how high it goes or whatever. But as soon as it starts to break back down, I want to enter. This happens up here, right? See that? This is where it happens. All right, guys? You understand what I'm saying? Hit the ones in the chat, guys, if you know what I'm saying. You guys understand? Okay, the key, man, this is very important because remember, we're dealing with high leverage, right? And if you're dealing with high leverage, you don't want to take the opportunity to hold on. Okay, so what I'm saying is you don't want to be in a situation where you take any high leverage for granted. You have to have the best entry. So once the 3-minute breaks back down, which happens to be here, it finally crosses over, right? You see here, it's like laying on it, but it hasn't broken down. It's going flat, and then instead of coming down, it goes up, and then here it breaks down, right? So which means our entry would be here, right? So let me move this. So the true entry that we waited for to happen would be right on this, not this candle here, but the next candle. Right here. Right here. This candle right here. See that? So now we have an entry, right? And I'm going to put this entry level below, and I'm going to say that we're going to take the bottom of this candle. Okay? So now here's our entry point. Now what we want to do, now that we know that we have an entry point, we're going to put it at the bottom here. We're not going to take the best entry up here, right? This would be actually, you're more than likely going to enter right here. This is probably your real entry, right? But I'm going to move it down and make it a terrible entry, right? I'm going to take some money away from you. So here you go. Here's your real entry down here. Now you're in a trade, right? You're somewhere in this trade zone here, right? So no matter what happens, you're somewhere in this area here. All you need for this to do, right? So when you enter here, all you're looking for this to do, right, once it crosses over, is you want to make sure that when you're in this trade, you make 50% profits, right? Which really isn't much, right? So here you go. Here's 53% right there, 53% profits, meaning that all you had to do was get to here. So there you go. From here to here, you made 53% profits. And remember, guys, you're always setting your stop loss. I do 30, but I mean, honestly, I think we're always setting our stop loss at about 40%. I know I used to do 50%, right? So I used to do 50% all the time, and that's pretty much kind of like my standard. And then I go for 40%. So my stop loss is 40, my profit is 50. right? So no matter what, this actually came down. We hit our target 50% inside that zone right there, 50% profit. So I just wanted to go through the rule of thumb, right? Like what we got on this trade. Now I'm gonna move this over to where it was a complete safe trade. I'm gonna show you guys what I mean by, I don't need that. I'm gonna show you guys what I mean by being patient and entering on a simple trade. So I'm gonna take this blue box here and I'm gonna open this up to 3 here, and I want to show you guys something here, because this is where you guys have to understand, like, not pushing a trade, waiting for the exact trade, right? So here we go. So when we move this blue here, all the things that we're really waiting for to happen in here, right? Let's take a look. It's going to happen off this particular trade. So let me get rid of all these. I don't want that. Let me get rid of this. Get rid of that. Get rid of this. Get rid of that. And I'm going to move this over to right here. And I'm going to make this a 3, because this is where the trade actually looks like we should be really digging into this trade, somewhere around here. I want to take a look at the volume and how it all plays out, and that would be right about there. Okay, so now let me go back to the 15 minute. I want to show you something here, so that as a new student and somebody who wants to always make sure they're in the winning trade, when you set yourself up here and you're focusing on the correct things, right? So here's your 15-minute red moon. It goes along, it breaks down. Now notice here, right? This is so key, right? See the volume right here? This is the 8 line. Okay, what I mean by 8, if you slide all the way to the right, you see that? There you go. See that? That's an 8 line right there. See? 8 line. Let me click on that. There you go. All right, that's an 8 line. I'm going to make that 8 line yellow. I'm going to go down to the 4.5, 5 line right there. I'm going to make that yellow or orange, right? And there we go. 8 and 4 line. Now, let me show you what happens when you're patient, right? And you're following through, right? So here, see the volume? We're on the 15 minute, guys. You see that? 15 minute, right? Here's your 15 minute, right? Go here, slide down. As we're waiting for this trade, 15-minute red moon, it goes along. Volume below the 8 goes along. Finally, the volume falls below the 4.5. That is the perfect entry right there. You see that? See that blue line? That's the perfect entry. That gets us a very super pullback. And basically, that pullback happens until the 15-minute volume bounces up. You see the 15-minute volume right there bounce up? Right? That's the trade from here to here. Right? Here to here. And I'm going to put another little line here. So it's from here to here. That's that little trade there. Now, waiting for the volume to do what it's supposed to do right here, right, doesn't hurt you. Right? And I'm going to show you why. We go to the 1 hour. Okay? We have a red moon. Volume's coming down. It doesn't break below the 15-minute. You wait patiently, right? The safer you are, the better you are off, right? The more things you put in for safety, the better, right? It just makes you more disciplined trader, right? Less things can go wrong when you have more things for safety. So here you go. 15-minute happens right here. You slide over to your 3-minute, right? And right here, you notice that you already have a 3-minute red moon and a 3-minute red trend. So when you see this 15-minute happen, you can enter on this trade, right? Which would be, let's say down here. I'm not even going to give a good entry. I'm going to enter down here. So let's say you enter down here at the bottom of this candle. Are you profitable by being even safer? Come over here, right? What's the profit? What are we looking for? 50%, right? There you go, 50%. Let me move this target down here. Let's open this up. All right, there you go. That's the target right there. There's your 50% trade right there. See that? 50%. See that? So you have 54%. You guys see it right here? 54% right there. The top of that trade is right here. See that? The top is right there. That goes on the entry point, which is right here. And then profits are right there. See? Entry here, profits here. 54%, right? So now, by being patient like a good student and not jumping a trade, you still made your 50% profits, guys. You see that? So let's say you had $1,000, right? If you had $1,000 and you hit this 50% trade, how much did you make? And look at all this extra money you could have made. Right? Look at all that extra. You have all this room. Now this right here is a safety net. This just means if you're bad at an entry, right? Even if you get a bad entry like here, you still have all this room to make money, guys. This is why the system works. Because we made a trade system. That's why it's a $20,000 trade system, guys. When you guys email me, I give you a special discount on TikTok, right? But what I'm teaching you is how to get into a trade that has all this money, right? So it has all this money here. There's all this money, but you're picking a very simple section to guarantee 100% profits. Okay, you see what I'm saying? 50% profits on every one of your trade. Yeah, Christian, that's correct. Christian, yes, we're shorting right now. We go short and long, right? You see that? 50% profits on every trade, right? But I wanted to point out, guys, that's something you can use for yourself as a rule of thumb just to make sure that you're never jumping a trade, is that you're using that simple technique, right? And that technique is this right here, right? And I'm going to copy this over. I'm going to put that here, and I want you guys to write that down. I want you to make sure that you follow that right there, right? It's very simple. 15-minute red moon, right? 15-minute red moon, and volume below 4.5 line to take a short. And I also need a 1 hour volume below 8, or I need a 1 hour red moon for the trade. Okay? There you go. There you go. Now I'm just going to put this overrides both. I'm just going to put overrides the 1 hour 8. Because I don't really want to override both. Because waiting for the volume always works out, right? It doesn't matter. To me, being safer is better. Right? Being safer is better, guys, right? Because you don't want to take risks, guys. The safer you are, the more money you make, right? So that's what I want to do there. The safer you are, the more money you make. It keeps it very simple. Right? The safer you are, the more money you make. Does that make sense? So how this just jumped in. Yeah, so basically what it is that we have a trading academy, and we have a system that we teach. And in the system that we teach, we show you how to short and do longs. But while you have that, you need to understand that there's certain things that you have to follow, like, you know, what we call bullet points, right? So these are checklists. These are the checklists to go into a trade to make sure that you're making the right trade. The reason why we have a checklist is so that way you win every trade. Right? This is where Steve, what up, baby? And this is so you always win a trade, right? So the goal is to always win the trade. That's it. So looking at these trades, these are very high volume trades. I wanted to make this video because a lot of times I think a lot of my students get into these trades and they don't understand. They might get in too early, and then it jumps up on them, right? And if it gets in too early, you're going to get liquidated, and you don't know why, right? This is going to stop you from getting liquidated. Okay, this one little thing here, right? I would definitely right here, 15-minute red moon, volume below 4.5 every single time. If you don't have that, just don't make the trade. You need a 1 hour volume below 8 line, or you need a 1 hour red moon. Right? This is what you need, right? Let me type that up. Settings. Okay. So I'm going to put this here. I'm going to put or. All right, so guys, if you're in the academy, make sure you write that down. 1 hour volume below an 8 line, or 1 hour red moon overrides the 1 hour 8 line. This will save you guys from being liquidated. Okay? Very simple rule. Right. You don't want to put up, yeah, you want to use leverage, man. Okay, so for instance, Christian, the system that we teach you shows you how to take $10 to 100,000. Okay, just so you understand. No, we're going to send you a link. Christian, when you join, you're going to get a link. Here. Screenshot this, bro. This is what you need to do. You don't use Robinhood, bro. But you do use Robinhood to cash out. So let me get you something here. This is a... Carlos! What up, bro? Let me get you the screenshot here. There. This is called MEXC. Now you might have to use a VPN or something, but this is what you want. You can do a screenshot there. That's going to be your that's your referral code, and that's also your screen right there, bro. Do a screenshot on that. You might have to use a VPN, guys, depending on what state you're in. Yeah, blockchain monkeys. Yeah, I love MEXC, bro. Love MEXC. It's all we trade on, guys. That's all we trade on. If you don't get it, get a screenshot right there. That's a VIP code. This will give you cheaper trading. We got over 2,000 traders on this code. Cheaper trades, better stuff. Yeah. So get a VPN. Write this down, Christian. VPN. Right? VPN. How do you get a VPN? Very simple, bro. You go to Google, right? Hit Google. Boom. You type in Google. Best VPN. Boom. Right? Just like that. Best VPN. Hit enter. And then you have all this right here. Top best VPNs recommended. I use ExpressVPN. You get 30 days risk free. You can buy it for a year. NordVPN is okay. But yeah, it's not like using it on Xbox. I use Xbox, so I use Express because it's made for Xbox. But other than that, man, you can use any of these VPNs. They're real cheap. I don't recommend using the cheapest ones because they get hacked. But I would use NordVPN, or I would use ExpressVPN, whatever is cheaper at the time. But yeah, that's how easy it is, boys. So I just wanted to cover, that this part of the portion, because I think a lot of times, you have to have some rules in place to make money when you're making a trade, so that way you know that you're in the right trade. So this rule right here will help you guys make the right decisions, because the volume is high there. The volume is key, right? Don't forget, guys, volume is key. If volume is incorrect, you're not going to have a good trade, man. You're not going to have a good trade. So guys, if you want to get into the trading course, send me an email. If you're in the US, let me know you're in the US, and then let me see if I got this here. Send me an email, guys, if you're in the US. VCCryptoNation@gmail. If you're in the US, send me a cell phone number, and I'm about to make some phone calls right now and talk to you guys to get you guys squared away. I got Corey, you ready, bro? You good? I'm watching the live now. jump in Discord, bro. Invite. Yeah, but you should have Binance USA, Christian. You should be able to use Binance USA. You need to use Binance.us. But yeah, you can use it for anything, bro. Yeah. Yeah, I don't use Binance because they cost too much. Dude, MEXC has every coin you want, bro. Every coin you want, bro. MEXC has everything, dude. I love MEXC, boys. We use Binance, we use KuCoin, KuCoin, Kraken. We used them all, bro. We ended up with MEXC because MEXC is the best. All right, so at the end of the day, guys, that's how you make those trades, and that's how you take advantage of your wins, right? So those are the pullbacks. Now, as we move forward, nothing really changes when you're waiting on the 4 hour to drop. And look at this, the YGG trade has actually got the 4 hour breaking down. So this is a full pullback trade on YGG. The only thing you're waiting for here is a 15-minute pullback here to happen for you, right? So let's go here. The volume is set up for YGG. Look at this volume breaking down. Let's go to the 1 hour. We have a 1 hour red moon. We got it. The volume came up. So all we're waiting here, guys, is for the RSIs to reline up, and we need a 3-minute moon, 3-minute trend. So the minute I get a 3-minute red moon and 3-minute trend, I'm gonna go into another short on YGG. So YGG, I'm gonna do another short here, and you can see it, guys. This is not that hard. Look. Let me show you. Right here, guys. You see this? 3-minute moon, 3-minute trend, another short. Look at that. Look at this. You could have made this money right here. Look at this. This is the trade we did right here, right? And I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna go to the other. This is not even .pp. Let me go to .pp. It's not even the right one. Let me go to futures. Futures, baby. All right, so USD.pp. Let me get into my MEXC. All right, so USGG. All right, hold on. All right, so YGG USDT.p. There we go. I need MEXC. Where's MEXC? There we go. I need stocks. Boom. There you go. Let me show you two different things here, guys. I'm going to show you two wins, right? Now, this is the first trade that we made in. This is the second, right? What are we waiting for? 3-minute moon, right? Boom. 3-minute trend comes down. Here's your 3-minute trend. We have a green moon. We're just waiting for that to happen, right? So right now, we're just letting this play out. You're about to get a green moon here. As soon as this green moon pushes up, right? So here, YGG has a red moon, red trend, right? We're waiting for all the RSIs to line up. So when this pushes up and reverses back into a red moon, red trend, right? Let's go to 15. All right, so here's a 15-minute, right? So let the 15-minute on YGG go to the top, and then see right here how the YGG went up to the top on the 15. When it reverses, that's going to be the trend. Like, you see that? Just break that down right there. See that? It's beautiful. Over here, you see that little push? It's getting weak. When it has a weak push like that, that means it's going to pump, right? So this wants to pump, right? It's probably going to pump up a nice little spot there. It's probably going to pump at least 100% here. But anyways, it wants to pump up here, wants to reestablish. But once this 15 minutes starts to come back down, I'm going to take a short. Shorts are easier than longs, guys. All right, so I got to make some phone calls here. I just wanted to do a video for my guys in the Discord, just to kind of like break down how to make sure they're making the correct trades inside of the pullbacks, guys. So let me end that there, and we'll get that on the Discord.